Hi, my name is Christabelle Kozlik. Today we will be reviewing an analysis on the seasonal events and style features at the Dram Shop, a growler fill station and tap room here in Missoula, Montana. In this presentation, we'll cover the agenda outlined below with an emphasis on the objective, the analysis, and the key insights gained. The Dram Shop is a fairly new business and has started hosting events within the last 18 months. The main objective of this analysis is to determine if these events have an impact on net sales. More specifically, we are interested in providing insight on which types of events have a larger impact on net sales and what specific events were the most successful in 2017. Identifying answers to these key business questions will allow the Dram Shop to better understand how impactful hosting events is on their net sales and which events are most popular in the Missoula area. In order to answer the posed questions, it is important to be able to estimate the impact of each specific event type on net sales. We can do this by creating a linear regression model, which will allow us to assess the impact of each variable holding all other variables constant. Prior to running the analysis, it is important to gain a basic understanding of the data, identify gaps, and make necessary adjustments. A few adjustments that were made before performing the analysis were separating day of the week, month, and year, adding event types, and filling in event names. Cleaning the data is an important part of data analysis as we need to ensure the model contains valid variables and accounts for a significant amount of variance in the response variable. In this case, our response variable is net sales. When making adjustments, the following assumptions were made. First, the active time frame for each event was based on the exact dates specified on the Dram Shop Facebook event page. And if two events were held on the same day, both events were categorized under multiple events since a precise weight for the net sales could not be identified for each event separately. Given the data provided and the objective of this analysis, we looked at 5 primary variables: net sales, day of week, month, Facebook ad spend, and event type for 2017. Now that we've discussed our objective and methodology, we can move into the analysis. When looking at the initial analysis of the data, we identified a few key points. Seasonal event sales leading up to October 2017 make up approximately 9% of the Dram's total net sales, and tap takeovers seem to be among the more popular events with higher net sales. When visualizing the event sales in the last year, we can see that there is a variance in net sales by event type. This can be seen by the high spikes on days that have certain events. For example, when looking at the 6 highlighted events, we can see that the Western Cider Tap Takeover had the highest net sales at $2,341, which accounted for 52% of total daily sales. While the Odell Brewing Company Tap Takeover had a slightly lower spike and impact on net sales, but still brought in $1,131 and accounted for 42% of the total daily sales. Now that we have determined that seasonal events seem to have an impact on net sales, we can create a regression to better understand if the relationship between the response variable, net sales, and the 4 explanatory variables, day of week, month, event type, and Facebook spend, are statistically significant, and if the variables looked at do a good job of explaining how net sales vary as each variable changes individually. Using these variables in the regression model resulted in a low p-value and a high r-squared, which respectively show that the overall model is both significant and that the variables used in the model explain a high amount of variance in net sales. To better understand how the regression model allows us to isolate variables and determine their individual impact, we can look at a few examples as to how the change in a single variable impacts the predicted net sales. Let's start by looking at an example of day of week. When looking at the chart on the left, we can see how the predicted net sales change by month depending on a specific day of the week. The blue bar chart depicts the predicted change in net sales when looking at the average Thursday in each month when no event is scheduled and no Facebook advertisement spent is made. In comparison, the gray line shows the predicted net sales for an average Monday each month based on the same criteria. This comparison allows us to isolate the change in predicted net sales by weekday and determine that the average Thursday is predicted to bring in $561 more than a Monday in each given month, holding everything else constant. Let's look at another example. Let's look at the month coefficient. Similar to weekday, when looking at how a specific month impacts the predicted net sales, you can see that holding all other variables constant, August is predicted to bring in an average of $502 more per day than January. Let's remember that when we say holding all other variables constant, what we really mean is that the comparison between August and January is looking at the same given day in the month where no event is scheduled and no Facebook advertisement spend has been made. We can now use the same logic to understand the impact of each event type on net sales, which will allow us to provide insight on our main objective, which is determining if events, and which events specifically, have a significant impact on net sales. Looking at the chart, we can see how the estimated net sales for a day vary for a given event type while controlling for other variables in the model: date, month, and Facebook ad spend. The lighter blue bars for each event type represent the standard error from the estimated total. You can see the Dram Shop anniversary has the highest estimated impact on net sales. However, the anniversary only occurs once a year. Therefore, it is more relevant to look at the impact of more frequently occurring events. So let's take a look at tap takeovers. Tap takeovers show the next highest impact on the estimated net sales, closely followed by a day with multiple events, and then wine tastings. It is clear from the visual that certain events do have a greater daily impact on predicted net sales. This can be useful when measuring event success. To better understand each event, we can take a closer look at key insights for some of the more impactful event types: style features, tap takeovers, and wine tastings. Style features are a week-long event featuring specific types of beer. Based on the regression analysis, we can see that on average, a style feature increases predicted net sales by $108 per day, given the same month, day of week, with zero Facebook spend. When looking at the data, it's clear that the three most popular style features in 2017 were Oktoberfest, Stout, and Sour Weeks. These three individually accounted for a high percentage of net sales over the course of the week. When looking at tap takeovers, based on the regression model, we can see that on average, a tap takeover increases the predicted net sales by $676, holding all other variables constant. That's a significant increase. When comparing the predicted increase on net sales between style features and tap takeovers, we can note that on a daily basis, tap takeovers have a higher predicted increase in net sales. This is reaffirmed when we simply just look at the data. Looking at net sales for the highest event in each category, net sales attributed to Oktoberfest as a style feature totaled $4,895 for a week, while Western Cider Tap Takeover, which is a daily event, totaled $2,341 in just one day. Similarly, wine tastings, another daily event, on average are predicted to increase net sales by $676, holding all other variables constant. Based on 7 wine tasting events that occurred on a day where there were no other scheduled events, $4,327 were made in net sales. The most popular wine tasting was Picnic Wines. This event happened in May. To summarize, we can determine that style features, tap takeover, and wine tastings all have a positive impact on net sales, although some impact sales more than others. Switching gears, let's take a look at how Facebook advertisement spend impacted net sales in 2017. In the original regression model, Facebook ad spend was not a significant variable. This means that we could not confidently say that there is a significant impact on net sales based on Facebook advertising alone. This is likely due to the fact that not all event types are being promoted by the Dram Shop on Facebook. Using a model which excluded event types and simply included an event indicator, yes if an event was in progress and no if an event was not in progress, Facebook spend became a somewhat significant variable in relation to the impact on net sales. From a business perspective, what this really means is for every $1 spent on Facebook advertising, the average net sales increased by $13, holding all other variables constant. These results indicate that money spent on Facebook advertising is somewhat likely to have a return on investment and increase sales. Moving forward, the Dram Shop can keep this prediction in mind when determining the amount they want to spend while putting an advertisement up on their Facebook page. Based on the analysis we just walked through, we can make the following conclusions. Seasonal events do have a significant impact on net sales. Specific event types have different impacts on predicted sales. When looking at tap takeovers, wine tastings, and style features specifically, all three event types showed a significant increase in predicted net sales. However, tap takeovers seem to give the Dram Shop the biggest bang for their buck. The third conclusion we can make is that promoting events on Facebook is likely to lead to an increase in net sales. Because of this, the Dram Shop should continue to promote events using their Facebook page. We hope that the Dram Shop can benefit from these findings and use the key insights to make more informed decisions regarding events in the future. Thank you.